Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Ironheart Season 1, Episode 3, titled We in Danger, Girl. Riri is uncomfortable being part of Parker's crew. Two more heists, max, and she's out. She promises. So, we saw how the first heist went. Well, I wouldn't even really call that a heist because they weren't stealing anything. That was a little infiltration and um destruction of their system to get sort of legit jobs. I mean, they don't have to do anything, but they are contract employees now of the tunnel group. So, yeah. I've seen a lot of people discussing in comments about whether or not that contract that she signed would be enforceable because it was signed under duress and everything. Yet her bringing it to the attention would create the public knowledge that, hey, these five, five or six people were able to very quickly and efficiently infiltrate her system, beat up all of her security, bypass all of her protections, and one of them was even able to get into her car without her knowing it. And then that would basically ruin her entire project. And um, as I just said, Hood was able to get into her car without her knowing. He was there for who knows how long, just holding his breath, and materialized out of thin air. She doesn't know how his powers work, so for all she knows, he could be right behind her when she goes to tell someone about it, and all of a sudden, he's there. So, yeah, I mean, well, it would not be legally enforceable with it being signed under duress. There is no way in which it would come out that she had to sign it under duress. Now, there would also be questions if an audit was done and they find, hey, these six people are on the payroll. What the hell do they even do to this company? Then questions would be brought out. But I just find it funny people arguing the logistics and legality of a criminal organization um, performing a job to get on a contract. I, I just find that funny. But anyway, yeah. We have said we've heard that they've said the other names of the heist. There was like the big one or big show or something, and I think the other one started with an F, but the F one came before the big show. That was meant to be their big finale one. So yeah. Are we going to get one more in this episode and then the final three will be in relation to the big one? Is it just going to be a heist every second episode? I don't know. So let's get this started in three, two, one, go. Oops, I don't have my subtitles on. Also, what happened with Stu? Like, where'd he go? Is he going to come back or is he dead? Here it is six. I keep forgetting about Clown with the explosives. I knew there was more than just Slug, the Blood siblings, and Hood. I just couldn't remember who the last one was. A school as a front. That's unique. Ooh, a clown. Why do I have a feeling the cloaks? Hmm. I don't think you're gonna intimidate her. Hmm. Interesting. Is Clown going to be put in a situation where the job takes her out in a freak accident? So there goes half the team. They're all ganging up on John. I also don't think Park would be able to because he's got the gut. To be fair, no, he has to hold his breath for the invisibility. So how long would he be able to do that for? Oh, I thought we were about to, with the way the lighting was lacking out. I thought we were going to get a backstory, but magic. I guess you bad. How'd you get them? Can't discuss a lot of startups. Several things. And the flannel. Nanotechs. Nanomachines. Honestly, invest in him. He's got really. Once he can't do anything for you, it's just you're the one who gave him the inspiration. That was not really necessary, but oh no. The problem is you can't exactly be seen considering you're a dead girl. What is with the glitching? Hmm. I do still wonder, is she based purely off of shared memories? No, because if he was Al Capone, he'd have a his pizza front would actually be selling pizza because they only got Al Capone on tax evasion, so guess they couldn't pin anything else on him. Can you maybe not stand in that corner? Well, now you have the memory of that. What is it with people in the iron suits getting panic attacks? I mean, that was just pretty simple. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, what she said was true. Hmm. I mean, fair, fair. Um, Question: how long after your meeting with Joe? And you're gonna be able to make that in a day? Did he have all the front tattoos? That is weird. And then again, I barely use social media, so yeah, I had a feeling that CEO was gonna be related to. I really thought that was going to be that him hearing about Rampage's death on the news and confronting John about it. Well, I was not expecting that reveal to come this episode. Interesting. Died in a plane crash. That's not interesting. I mean, that's fair. I was not actually expecting him to try and distance himself from Stain. I honestly just I saw the name and I distrusted him, which I guess is more on me than anything. But I really thought that he'd be trying to do what his dad failed. I mean, he opened up to you. You did sort of force him to, but I can see that. I guess I have an aviator's brain. 'Cause I used to do that when I was younger and be able to put it back together once I knew how it was put together initially. Why do I have a feeling that some of the tech is going to be left? That was very not well concealed. Hmm. Interesting. There's no metal in the earpieces to be registered as um harmful. Okay, with that being how it works, I my way of thinking would not have worked. I would have thought maybe strap it down entirely, and then when it's needed, untape it to reveal it. But if it's like that, then you do sort of need it open. Hmm. How is this going to go wrong? I am surprised that she's able to cut the. Hmm. She don't got a lighter. Oh, she got matches though. Um. Dang it, Riri. Hmm. You gonna go full hood or is that a plastic gun? Almost made it. I also didn't take as big of a breathe in before. His eyes black. Hmm. She actually responded to him at least, or at least followed him. Why not just leave the way you came in? Well, that's an issue. I mean, she does have some heroic qualities. If her priority is save the others, let me do my own thing. How many times am I going to say that throughout this? What is that even from? That now I'm gonna do my own thing. Is that Is that Spider Verse? You're getting lasered. That was the biomesh. I don't feel John's not making it out. The issue is that she left the skin mesh and You trying to get that piece of the hood has screwed everyone. Well, he didn't really. Yeah, that's fair. Um, there definitely was words in there. I just couldn't make any out. Okay, so whoever is behind Hood's powers in this just showed him that Riri is the reason that John's dead. Or at least that's the way Parker's interpreting what that was. Because it shows John gasping for air and then Riri's suit towering over him. So that is not good. So because of her involvement in this episode, her not being cautious, she triggered the biosensors, which alerted everyone, which resulted in Hood having to kill whoever his name is. Well, and then having to go and try and save everyone, which then brought John into the building, which then resulted in John finding Riri with a part of Parker's hood, to then him trying to attack her and being left behind to suffocate. And, like, yeah, okay. If she'd have tried to save him, one, he would have still kept trying to kill her. Two, um, he would have told everyone that she's the reason for everything going wrong and them all almost dying. And yeah, then she's gonna be trying to analyze everything while Parker knows what she's done in that. But at that point, wouldn't it just be easier for Parker to say, "Yeah, nah, this is how I got this," and like I'm just using it for these jobs, these last few jobs, and then that's it. Once we've got everything we want, then I'm not using the hood anymore. It gets locked away. Um, yeah, she left. She left. I'm gonna keep calling him Joe. She left his biomesh there after she explicitly swore that this would not be traceable back to him. So he's gonna be screwed over in the next one. So that's and all because she was impatient and couldn't wait a couple more seconds. Like, her setting off the alarm is what made it so that the deal with what's his face wouldn't be going through. Like, that's when Parker started panicking, when he brought the gun out and said, "Get out of my sight," all of that. So, if she'd have just waited, like, stopped, let it cool off, and then go again, get that final cut. Also, it's hard to tell if the part that she sliced off was the same part that she found, or if that was from her earlier attempt. Because you'd think realistically that if it was cut off of the cloak, then it wouldn't have stayed invisible. Then she would have like seen it fall when. But they did make the effort of they did go through the effort of showing us that the laser stayed on him for an extra second after he turned invisible. So maybe that was the same, and it just had a delayed response to like turning visible. But yeah, and he wasn't moving, so if she'd have just waited a couple seconds for it to cool off again, then it'd be fine. None of this would have happened. She wouldn't have been found out or anything, and the whole thing would have gone through. Zeke's stuff wouldn't have been left there. So yeah, I mean, this is on her. Like, surely you could have gotten enough environmental readings off of, like, yeah, you can't get a proper analysis or anything, but environmental readings, possibly just maybe at a less stressful point, discreetly find a more efficient way of getting a piece of the cloak without anyone noticing, not in the middle of a job where other people's lives are at stake. Especially when you suspect there being something magic about the cloak that granting him all these powers. Like, you'd think there'd be some form of sentience to be able to tell him what's happened. Like, hey, a piece of me is missing, or hey, this is what really happened. Yeah, but gotta remember, she's still a teenager, so yeah, she's incredibly intelligent, but that doesn't mean she's always smart. She doesn't always act rationally, because you can't even put that on adults. So a teenager, in fact, those who are highly intelligent tend to act more impulsively. So, ironically, those with higher intelligence think things through less. So, it's entirely understandable why she acted the way she did. It's entirely in character for her to act the way she did, but it's still on her. Anyway, out of the entire crew, I think the blood siblings are my favorite. Just I don't know what it is about these two. Just yeah, all we want to do is just throw hands. Like, you've got your hacker, you've got your explosives, you've got your tech whiz. We're the muscle. We just like bodying people, and when we're through with this, we've got no grand ambitions for what we're spending the money on. We're not opening a restaurant. We're not making a school that's going to be a front. We're just making a fight club. Like, they just they just love the fight, and you gotta respect that. Anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. I will say that John did seem a little surprised with her calling out Rampage's death. Whether that's surprise about her knowing that, or him then taking that as an opportunity to then get in her head about what's going to happen. Like, yeah, this was always going to happen, and like, I'm completely within my rights under Parker to carry this through, and also Parker would want to be here to see this. Like, just trying to mess with her psychologically. I don't know whether he actually had anything to do with it. But anyway, I'm going to end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.